I wouldn't be surprised if the rate for sexual assault on women over one's lifetime was as high as 1 in 3 or 1 in 2. We just don't know because nobody fucking reports because reports aren't taken seriously. That's what Me Too is about.
You're like, I don't think things are on the same level, but things impact you in like bizarre ways. But yeah, like because the perpetrator wasn't white, and because he was like, part of like a certain religion.
Wait, are we being real?
And the police were basically just like, we can't because of cultural differences, which I don't feel like is such a good.
What? Bullshit! Are you fucking kidding me? Did she turn her fucking rape confession onto how the rape refugees fucking Ahmed Muhammad raped her and the police were like, oh, we can't persecute brown people? Bullshit!
She then goes out and calls her a bitch or a whore. I forgot exactly what. But as you can see, this is the standard move for a lot of leftists. And I noticed that when you look at racist people, oh, like they exist, you can find them on the internet, and they also have their own prejudices. Like they will believe that black people are fatherless. But when they meet a black person that has a father, they don't make it so that the prejudice has to enforce itself on reality and be like, no, you don't really have a father. Like, no, you're lying to me. You're lying. No, maybe you do have a father, but like, be honest, he's not in a marriage with your mom. Like, he never actually visits, right? No, like, racists go like, okay, well, I do believe that on average this is the case, but like, I've actually met a person that doesn't comply to the stereotype, right? So like, he's an exception. Meanwhile, when I look at leftists, they all seem to do this. Like, they have their own preconceptions. And when they encounter something that doesn't fit their ideology, it means that that thing must be false. Like that ideology works in absolute. There is no exception. And this is the mindset of a zealot, right? And when you create a culture like this, where on one hand you act like you care and you're treating it as a serious issue, it's like, okay, maybe it's 1 out of 2 women that get raped in their lifetime. Maybe it's 1 out of 1. Maybe my mother herself. Maybe if I transition, I'm going to get it. Who knows, right? So you're treating it like you're taking it very seriously. But when you're taken outside the narrative and you have a woman that's saying, look, people don't believe me. And Vosh goes like, yeah, like, see, this is the problem. Well, I happened to get raped by a person that was non-white. And then Vosh immediately doesn't even say that, okay, well, this is an exception. Well, all right, maybe this is just one lady. Or even says, well, I don't believe her personally. No, he starts insulting her. He becomes aggressive. He becomes very agitated. He becomes angry. He starts performing, right? And I want you to remember this video as we're going to watch the next one, which are now becoming a meme because every single time they're presented with arguments that their ideology doesn't have answers for, they make this face. And they make this face because they want the power of the crowd. They believe that if we have like a democratic consensus, if everyone agrees with me, and I'm treating you as stupid, or I'm pretending not to understand what you're saying, or I'm acting confused and baffled, then I will get to win. And the reality is that maybe they do get to win, but the gangs keep raping, right? So like on the public discourse, like congratulations, like these tactics work, right? Like seriously, like most people are more emotional than they are on their intellectual side, right? And so body language, appeal to public emotion works. That's why they exist. But the gangs will still rape, okay? And they do not want to have an honest conversation. And so let's analyze what this lady was saying. She was saying that, listen, the academic rigor wasn't done properly. All right, like, hey, fair enough. Was the academic rigor done properly when you released the documentary Adolescence? Was the academic rigor done properly when you guys went and said, believe all women? Was the academic rigor done properly when you guys make the claim that Andrew Tate and Elon Musk is to blame for most of the problems that are happening in UK? You know what? Fair enough. It's like the academic rigor. Do you know what's interesting? Have you ever argued with a leftist online? Because I have. You notice that when they argue, they start demanding like more evidence. And so maybe they want a quote where you get to show them that the sky is blue. And you show them, a newspaper article and you point, look, the sky is blue. I don't like that source. I don't like that source. You know, now you need to search for another source. Eventually, you find the source that they like. It's not the exact same thing. It's not the exact same thing, right? So if it's not the exact same thing, then you can't... like, for example, you show them a lake. And you show them the reflection of the sky in the lake. And you show that the lake is blue. Because, like, that's what you found, you know? Like, you didn't have the evidence at hand. It's not the same. I want to see the picture of the sky from a source that I trust. And of course, the reality is that there is no source that they would trust. Even if you show them the actual footage of an event, then they will say that the problem is the footage, and they would want the footage to be bad, and they will say that the event is just a one-off. And if you talk about another event, it's just one-off. And if you bring up the previous events, they will say, oh, you're doing whataboutery. Everybody knows that you cannot convince a zealot. And there are two reasons. Like, number one, most people... when they are confronted with things that they believe fundamentally to be true, their mind protects them. And so they try to be extremely skeptical, right? This is why when a documentary like Adolescence comes along, they automatically believe it because that fits their worldview, so they're not skeptical. But if something different happens that goes against their ideology, all of a sudden they want the academic papers. Now, with that out of the way, there is also the conflict of interest, right? Like many of these ladies have advocated for the policies that have created and normalized, leftist word, right? The problem that Britain is now facing. And what people absolutely hate and despise is accountability, right? Like people in power, they like making decisions. But they never like getting audited. They never actually like to look at if their decisions made a positive change or not. And so how do they justify it to their base? Well, in the case like the inquiry, which came up and hundreds of thousands of girls apparently got molested, the only way to respond to your base is to say that it's false, or to claim that you don't believe it, or to laugh it off, to say, oh, it's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. How could it have happened? You know, like it's a lie so big that surely it must not be true. I haven't read it, but I'm certain that it's not true because it hasn't been verified by the people that I like, people who also have a conflict of interest. Because like that's the thing, you know, like we have to pretend like the academia, which is an institution, right, is now the science. It's like, no, the scientific method is something objective that belongs to everyone, but the institution is staffed by humans with political ambitions, with personal ambitions, with getting money from someone, and the people that they get money from is the government, right? Which is now being accused of being irresponsible. So, like, why would the government want the people that it's paying to come out and say that, hey, you done fucked up, right? So this is why, like, people do not believe the academia and the institutions, and also the fact that the British way of solving dialogue was never to actually look at the situation and come up and discuss. Their way was censorship. And censorship means that you can't be trusted, right? Because censoring something doesn't mean you want the debate. It just means that you didn't want the debate to happen. Imagine a family, right, where the wife believes that the husband is cheating, and the husband's response is to constantly censor the wife, to confiscate her phone, to prevent her from talking about it. Does the wife believe that the husband isn't cheating? Like, no, like, she's going to start believing it even more, because censorship is the weapon of a coward. And in Britain, we've noticed that censorship has moved from initially, you know, you saying slurs and certain things that are offensive to actual things that are political, to actual footage. Like, for example, the Belfast riots, I heard from British politicians that the problem was the footage. That there is an invention now which allows a grown adult to film something that's happening in real life and then upload it to other grown adults, right? Like, that is the problem. And Elon Musk, who has a platform that allows this transfer to happen. And so this is a huge loss of legitimacy for these people, and a huge... I mean, I don't even know, like, this lady in particular, I understand she changed her avatar in order to respond to the haters. Brilliant PR move, like, what can I say, you know? The problem is, like, they have trained the public to believe that you have to trust all women. Like, why would women lie? That's literally their ideology, right? Like, believe all women. Wasn't that a couple of, that long ago? And it came from the UK as well. Like, this entire feminist cult, it had its base in the British academia. And so, you move from, like, believe all women to now laugh at women? I don't know how even their base is going to handle this. Like, this is a little bit interesting. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, we'll see each other in the comment section. Take care.